Conscious means that you're conscious of what's going on in this world. You're fully aware and awake to what's going on in this world. That's what conscious rap means. So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rapping. That means they sleeping. They still under a spell of Leviathan. They still under the spell of Kingdom.
Call me brother man, I'm not the rubber man. Though I keep my Nazis in affairs wrapped with some rubber bands. Burning out the Ku Klux Klan and Wizard Grand Dairy Queen misters. Just butts of guns I'm giving. Trying to make more sovereign citizens, these minions. Help kill your prophet, stole your treasury millions. You heard it from your brother man, not a smother sellout. Sets links in K2 Kush days, keep me red out. I got the knowledge to make these silly hoes question the pimpin' directors of music videos. Gay laws and persons with strap-on boots with heels. Too much graphic art faces, boobs are not real. Since MCM and Troop, they use Timberland boots to get us all caught up in fashion, not the simple men roots. Got our people on dogmatic, not metaphysic. Exoteric, not esoteric is how you missed it. So out of it you couldn't feel the natural mystic blowing through the air like it didn't give a shit. I hear the dirty Moors dissing, cause I said profanities. A lot of these grand sheets need to take off the panties.
And conscious means that you're conscious of what's going on in this world. You're fully aware and awake to what's going on in this world. That's what conscious rap means. So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rapping. That means they sleeping. They still under a spell of Leviathan. They still under the spell of Kingdom.
Call me brother man, I'm not the rubber man. Though I keep my Nazis in affairs wrapped with some rubber bands. Burning out the Ku Klux Klan and Wizard Grand Dairy Queen misters. Just butts of guns I'm giving. Trying to make more sovereign citizens, these minions. Help kill your prophet, stole your treasury millions. You heard it from your brother man, not a smother sellout. Sets links in K2 Kush days, keep me red out. I got the knowledge to make these silly hoes question the pimpin' directors of music videos. Gay laws and persons with strap-on boots with heels. Too much graphic art faces, boobs are not real. Since MCM and Troop, they use Timberland boots to get us all caught up in fashion, not the simple men roots. Got our people on dogmatic, not metaphysic. Exoteric, not esoteric is how you missed it. So out of it you couldn't feel the natural mystic blowing through the air like it didn't give a shit. I hear the dirty Moors dissing, cause I said profanities. A lot of these grand sheets need to take off the panties. Pull the thong out your crack vest wearing sash ass nigga. Return to where the prophet found you, negro ass nigga.
It's time to choose a side. You're either positive or you negative. You're either evil or you good. You understand what I'm saying? Choose a side, nigga. I know what side I'm on.
I throw a Molotov at the priest that works for the beast. All they want is our people to rest in peace. No attention of allowing more stress to ease. Cracker won't go home to spread himself the disease. Genocidal epidemic kill us in high proportions. Instead of mummified, we stay boxing coffins. Mayors attend funerals for PR purposes. Where's the police escort? He replied with nervousness. He said, I don't have those numbers or connections to have Metro Police lead your friend's funeral procession. That's coming from Mr. Mayor, black community player. No question in the hoods dropping off boxes of weapons. Then blame black on black crime or natural causes. Plus those doctors aren't on point but off a bit. Natural mystics prove they're not holistic. Hypocrite oaths make your children autistic.
I'm at the point now where I'm saying I'm tired of mixing the medicine with the food. I'm tired of playing that game. Now I'm shoving straight medicine down your fucking throat, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight doses of medicine is getting shoved down your throat. I don't give a fuck if it turns you off or not. Because if it do turn you off, then you're a stupid, ignorant motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Don't judge like a cover of your favorite book. Visit you in your dreams, hand with the hook. Paralysis overtook, so shook. Stop, look, listen with precision. MC on a mission, vision. Past senses and endless. Cipher with active Moors, beat you with facts senseless. Have your mind defenseless when the truth enters. Eyes glow, reminds me of Omar Bay, Algonquin embers. Tap your pioneer like what's a man remembers. All the lies told to your mind dismembered. Circle broken into quadrants, you the 7 in the center. Compass G between the square, Baphomet of Templars. Warlock, call on my witch mothers to maim them. The same wise spirits burned at stakes in Salem. Torture with vagina pair, survive, bobbing for apples. Contort thumb, slide wrist out, tight shackles.
I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around. I always got something deep to say, every time around.
down and you attack the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless. Cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnappers, dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moors lips off. Disrespecting the mother Raz Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire way. Throw him off a bridge or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalists Moors spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crush the dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaanland is not a part of North America. Canaanland is bigger. Yo, it's ignorance, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same landmass. Canaanland is actually bigger than the landmass they know as the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they can just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear hoarse voices, see frog faces and hoots for feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget back seats, new Moors are an issue. Get Ginsu, maybe a dream visit from Vishnu. A nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues. Through vigilance, active Moors are militants. SPLC dirty Moors, call that sovereign citizen. Lying for views, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen Bays sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts. For teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MSTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MSTA. I got issues with
Keep it Kendrick Lamar, stay surrounded by feathers. Dirty's guilty of fraud if Drew Ali scrutinized their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge the Commonwealth. Dirties claim more, but really on the straw man health. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil little more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a little of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with Rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me upright, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astro plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Morris or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
legendary. Bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil of a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J, Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, the stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finishing.
Morris or Moor, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost in metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. They are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like go prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pole magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quickie. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Islam Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors. Got everything done early. You could slap some people. If you're playing games of your birthrights. One of the most tattered books. One of the favorites. Addressing misunderstandings of purpose concerning Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Drew Ali, Moorish Divine National Movement. Excerpts from Solar Return Celebration Address, January 1984, by Taj Tariq Bey, with editorial and ancillaries, including from earlier and later Moor's Order of the Round Table orientation, law, history, and culture classes. It's one of the favorites because it exposed that, as perfect as the Moorish movement is, the people who've been running it, they're a fraud. The people who've been running the Moorish movement, ever since Noble Drew Ali transitioned, they're a fraud. And we're going to throw Mili'il and Pearl Ali in there and whoever else that was after the Prophet. Everybody who didn't transition when the Prophet transitioned, everybody after, they pretty much sold you out. If you want to keep it a buck. And then we're not even including the Negro, black, colored people who after Noble Drew Ali, that they don't even tell you that you're Moors. They just threw that out the window. They don't even bring up that they're Moors, much less bring up Noble Drew Ali. So we give honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And we give honors to all the master teachers who came after Noble Drew Ali, who exposed all these traitors. Expose them all. You don't even have to know who the traitors are. Because you should already know. Anybody after Noble Drew Ali, calling themselves leader, calling themselves whatever, and they're pushing this as religion. That was just like we were on the stereo app this morning. Negroes on there. American Indians on there. Right? And they're having conversations about, multiple different topics. Told them about NOI is a fraud, sold them out. Then an NOI guy comes on the thing. Start saying that I'm an agent. Start saying that I'm a sellout because Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael is from Trinidad and Tobago, and he said he's from Trinidad and Tobago, and Stokely Carmichael, and it has nothing to do with Stokely Carmichael. This has to do with all these Negroes having platforms, and every time we get sent these videos, it's somebody who's learning. Somebody who's coming into the info and they're just sending it to Kudrow because, you know what I mean? Like, should I be watching this? They just want to learn. Right? So, Moors, and Moor said this on the Negro platform. Moor said it on the Negro platform. I'm on this platform right now because of Kudrow Auto L, because he's the one that showed me where to go learn. So no way he's an agent because I'm on here and I'm telling you that I learned from this guy that you're saying that's an agent. NOI guy. But they're not going to talk about Farrakhan being Prince Hall and all that stuff. They're not going to bring that up. They're not going to bring up all these NOI heads being in the Scottish Rite and all that stuff. They're not going to bring all that up. They're going to play like Moors are agents. Moors are the sellouts. The same Moor who's saying that, he's near the UK. How the UK Moor saying a Moor all the way in Canaanland taught them about Moors? And then you're going to say there's no Moorish unity. And the Moors don't have it together because the Moors don't even have their own hospital. Yeah, but a Moor from halfway across the world could know about Moors because of another Moor, though. But you're not going to look at that. You're going to look at everything else, but you're not going to look at that. Saying that I'm an agent because we're practicing disunity because we want our people to be Moors. NY guy. In the end, kicked me off the thing. Then they continued talking. Phone rang, whatever the case was. Went back on the thing, and then the guy who was hosting the thing blocked me. So they could keep talking their Negro, African, American Indian, we're everything except Moors, BS dialogue. With Moors on there, schooling them, but they want to do everything else except be Moors. They want to learn everything else except learn to be a Moor. They want to taste test everybody's food except Moorish food. When the Moors are telling you we have a brick and mortar right now that you could walk in the door on Sunday, 12 p.m. Come in and build with the Moors and learn about your nationality and birthrights. This is not some online shit. Right? They're telling me, well, what's your trade? What do you do? I don't have a trade. I don't have a trade. all you engineers and carpenters and whatever like that, you're American Indian carpenter guy. I don't have a trade, but I can tell you this. The ball team that I coach is 3-1. And they're learning about unity amongst themselves with their team. And they're learning about you're not going to be LeBron James, stop the BS, and all of them are getting 70s, 80s. It's not dumb niggers playing some basketball. They don't have to do basketball. They go play badminton. But they rather play ball. Team's 3-1. Let them coach themselves. Like, hey, you know what I mean? You say that you can play ball, all right, coach yourself. I'm just out here just to give you guys a routine. But go out there, coach yourself. You guys know the plays and whatever from last year, 2 years ago. What are you doing new plays for? Run the same stuff that you've been running for the past how much ever years. 3-1. Let them go freelance. They want to be LeBron and Curry and all that stuff. They want to score baskets and then dance after. They want to, you know what I mean, go up, give a hard foul to a guy, and then after the game, that's their boy. You know what I mean? It ain't a hard foul like that. It's my boy, but you're not scoring. We're playing against each other. You know what I mean? Hard foul a man, go tell him, you know, apologies, but, you know, just, you're not playing the stuff like you were doing last year. Bullying us because you're bigger. Because we have big people now. We're grown now. So go out there, go play. Have fun with it. Win something for yourself. What are they doing? Tell them bring me a list of all the young people that they helped or whatever. All the young people who are starving, can't have anything to eat. And then I talk to the kitchen guy to get a deal, get him souped up with something to eat. That's uplifting fallen humanity. You think read some people some books? You think all that stuff Kush is doing, wasting his damn time reading to people? You reading to people. How come you just go buy the book and read the stuff? You know, but he does that because that's where the people are at. That's what they want. Somebody reading to them. But then there's others who, I'm going to go read for myself. I'm going to study on my own. I'm going to go on my own Moorish pilgrimage into this Moorish paradigm, whatever. And lock down for 6 months, 9 months, a year, 5 years. Close everybody off. Just like how MJ did to be the best. F everybody. All Europeans, that was God in a body that beat us. It wasn't Michael Jordan guy. European. Blonde hair, blue eye, called the black man God, and then you people still playing games. But that's your boy. That's a European. That's your colonist master guy telling you the black man's God. You know, you people still don't get it. So you get read to. Because you don't go study. You don't go do any research. You want everybody to save you instead of you saving yourself. Oh, you can't save yourself because you don't know who Noble Drew Ali is. Who told you save yourself? We're going to read to you some Drew Ali. There's people playing games. People are going to keep playing games. That's just what it is. People have been playing games. Matter of fact, we might as well let's just do these ones. Let's just do these ones right now before we get started.
1913, and this was 1906. So you can see 7 years prior, this issue was addressed, but it ain't made public. How come these grand governors and grand chiefs won't deal with this? Because it's called civics, and they are against constitutional enforcement. Their actions have proven it. They have been traitors to Noble Drew Ali
Cuss them out, Taj.
Officially,
Cuss them out.
1913.
Playing games.
And this was 1906. So you can see 7 years prior, this issue was addressed, but it ain't made public. How come these grand governors and red chiefs won't deal with this? Because it's called civics. And they are against constitutional enforcement. Their actions have proven it. They have been traitors to Noble Ali, they've been traitors to you, and they've been traitors to the nation. Period.
Period. Since you want to listen to Taj. You want to listen to him? Okay, how about listen to that part? That's why your stuff is a mess right now. So you better go study. Because all these people sold you out. What you want? What you want us to do? What you want Morse to do? You want Morse to be the savior of your stuff, but you sold yourself out. Or your brother sold you out. What are you supposed to do? Wasn't that you that sold yourself out? Or wasn't that your brother over there you sold yourself out? Wasn't your brother charge you $5,000 for a package that didn't work? Then you're coming to Mars like, well, how do you what? How do you lynch that guy who stole your $5,000? How about that robber who told you 1,000 notes? Matter of fact, he told you 3,500 notes. He told you 3,500 notes, but because you didn't have 3,500, he took 1,000. And then these same people, right? These same people, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moor Science Temple of America, Free and Sundry Moor people. These same people are going to have lectures out there with them on the stage with Taj Tariq Bey. I sat at a Taj Tariq Bey lecture one time, right? I sat at Taj Tariq Bey lectures one time, and it was near Philly. Your brother sitting around those Moors. Islam to all the Moors near Philly. And I was like, damn, there's like a line of people. There's a line of people to get their documentation sealed. Ain't no finance or nothing like that. No put something in the pot and nothing like that. No, this is like, you or more? You ready to go? Okay, all right, so let's go. You better be serious because, you know what I mean? If you're only going to injure yourself, don't call Taj Tariq Bey after. Because you saw some stuff on a video, you think you got a seal on something that just because you show the seal, that means, just because you show the seal, that means they are going to respect the Moorish. No, it doesn't. That's just to show unity. That's just to show you are who you say you are. That's a confirmation. Not for them, for you. That's confirmation for you. No, do you realize why I said videos? You realize I didn't say YouTube videos? I'm talking about videos, video cassette videos. Stuff that didn't even make it to DVD. We're talking about cassette video. Not video go on YouTube. Or Zoom. You know, we're not talking about those videos. That's why they could come out right now, tell you 1,000 when they were on stage with Taj Tariq Bey. They were on stage lecturing with the master teacher. How come they weren't saying 1,000, 3,500 then? I bet you they won't if you ask them. I bet you they won't if you ask them, hey, when you used to be lecturing with Taj Tariq Bey, were you guys giving out cash apps? No? You're just throwing out your cash app every 2 seconds? So then, Why is Taj gonna go and lecture with him again tomorrow if he took somebody for 1,000 notes? Why are you asking me that? Why don't you go ask the guy who you see doing stuff that you're questioning? What are you asking me for? What am I supposed to know? I'm grown. I don't care what some other individual is doing if it's not for the uplifting of our people. I don't care about anything else they're doing. Do whatever you want. It's your birthright. All I know, never once with the junk drive with all the files on it, do you have to pay any finance for that. Never do we pay for any lesson books. Never do we pay for anything, any book on RGV Bay Publications. We paid because out of the honor of thank you for stuff that we do, so we're going to pay for it. Right? Have the actual lesson book on the junk drive that we can go to the print man over there and make 500 copies and sell them. But guarantee you come to Moor Science Temple of America, you're going to get the Taj Tariq-based stuff that any other Moor Science Temple ain't going to tell you. And some of those stuff are the video cassette stuff that we converted to DVD. That you can go to the temple and just DVDs stacks just there. But people can't even find a DVD player right now. So you're stuck with all the BS that people just put up that is all about playing you. These Moors playing this thing of they're the government, right? And the government for the Moors. And we're the Moorish Republic government. And we're the Moorish consulate of whatever. And we're the whatever. Okay, as soon as they start asking for finance, they're a fraud. They're not government anything. Especially if they're asking for finance and they don't even have office. Their office is their phone. Because they can go live anywhere. They can get a video call everywhere. So their office is their phone. But they're Moorish, they're supposed to be the Moorish superior or whatever. You look around, everybody else has an address that you go walk in the door, talk to a receptionist, talk to a CEO, talk to a engineer, talk to whoever. Everybody has that except us. Oh yeah, because we don't want to hear what Noble Drew Ali said, which was, watch out for these traitors because they're robbers. He called them all out. No different than we're calling them out today. Called them all out. And look at you, still getting played by these people who Noble Drew Ali and master teachers have called out for years. Look out for the sellout. Remember, we're talking about Drew Ali's time, that around him, there were traitors. Who he's calling them out. General laws as said by the Prophet. Instructions of Tuesday night. You see what happened today, don't you? Every temple and head is to function by words, deeds, and actions, imitating the Prophet, especially when teaching a group of Moors, any group of Moors. Any group of Moors. So this is not just some Moor Science Temple thing only. These are the general laws. The supreme laws will be handed to you tomorrow night. The Supreme Council will be chosen tomorrow, consisting of 7 men tried and true, accepted by you according to their words, works, and deeds. The head of all temples are to give an account once a month of all finances into the grand body, and the grand sheikh, grand sheikhess, governor, and grand governor of any said temples are to work hand in hand and intercede that the prophet is the law. They are to know they are part of the law and must obey. Remember, this is to all Moors. The heads of all temples are to by force refrain from all wrath words, profanity in the mildest form from his members. They must live the life of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and refrain from all alcoholic liquors of any other harmful motive or things that will terminate to destroy peace or any of the divine principles. They are not to contribute to anything that will cause the public to disagree with he or she. And for one to lead a group of Moors, you must keep your house clean, clean with good deeds, kind words to your wives. Brothers must hear good works, kind words, and must know of your good deeds. If there are children, you must see to their support. Follow this divine principle, for if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. And the heads are not to charge for membership or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or anything issued by the prophet. Those who contribute to either of the preceding are not Moors but robbers. Membership, sisters and brothers, is free, not only here, but all over the world. The button is 25 cents, card 25 cents, and 1 month's dues paid. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. This money goes toward the support of the temple. This, if not paid, does not entitle you to the protection that is provided for you, and especially if you are not working or in the position to work. If you neglect to fulfill this small duty assigned to you, how can you rightfully expect money or other help when you are sick or otherwise disabled? And to be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine constitution that is handed down to you unto I, the Prophet. The head of any temple can maintain an emergency fund which cannot exceed the amount of from 25 cents to 50 cents a week per member. All public collections and dues also go to the support of the temple and its domestic work. The head of every temple must by law obey the word of the prophet. And if any head, leader, or head of any temple fails to obey these laws, embezzlement is his charge and is subject to enforcement of the law by the grand body. And the penalty may be a fine or removal from office or being placed under a very heavy restriction of the law. Supreme words of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So you know that wasn't religion. If they're talking about fines and removal from office and all that stuff, then this is not something religious. A real Moorish leader must study their Quran and divine constitution. Because once you go check those, you realize that this is not religious. We're empowered to make law and enforce law. But like he said, those who contribute to either of the preceding, overcharging, charging just in general, for cards, buttons, and anything issued by the Prophet. Anything. So anything that Drew Ali presented to you, if someone's out here selling it like that, right? $5,000 for some nationality process. They're not Moors, but robbers. Those people are around still today. How? If Drew Ali called these people out back then? How the robbers still getting away with this today? Because your own. The ones who didn't live by the principles. The ones who violated the divine principles and tried to destroy peace. Can you explain the division between Muslims and Moors? What's the feud about? The division between Muslim and Moors is because people look at Moors as a religion when it's not a religion. It's government. So stop looking at it as a religion. Now there's no feud because Muslim has nothing to do with government. Two separate jurisdictions. Diversity of jurisdiction. We're not religious. Yeah, but it says Allah. I don't care. We're not religious. Yeah, but it says Muslim. And we're not religious. Yeah, but there's a crescent star and dingbat. We're not religious. Well, I think that you're religious, so well then. Do you? Would you say that the religion is blind faith? That's how I see it. Dogma is blind faith. Religion, in its proper perspective, has to bring you back to yourself. Religion is your grounder. The religion is supposed to stop you from going over the edge. Religion is the guardrail. You know, and those stuff with the cliff and then the guardrail. Okay, that's a religion. So you don't go off the cliff. That's all religion is there for. If you maintain your speed and don't get crazy, religion is useless. Ain't nobody going over the edge because they're competent. 99% of the people are not going to go over the edge. It's only when the idiot 800 around the corner messed it up for everybody. Because now the religion, the guardrail, right, could distract a new driver. Just like the people are distracted today when they look at the Moorish movement and think it's religious. And then they just stay there. Oh, it's religious. So are you going to go read some of the religious stuff? No, I don't deal with religion. Oh, then no wonder. No wonder. And then like somebody said in the chat, according to Drew Ali, if we're talking religion, for Moors, that's Islamism. And when you look up Islamism, that has to do with government. So it's still not religion. Or is it? You want some books? Go to Khalifa Media. moormedia.com. Get every book on there. There's some books. Get your wig split. You can start there. khalifamedia.com and get every book off that. That's Morris Publisher for people who, you know. Oh, yeah. So more so in the chat. RV Bay Publications. Go there. Get every book off that. And read those. And there's some, if you've been to RV Bay Publications and you bought some books, but not all of them yet, then go back and get the other ones that you didn't get. If you want some books. Because we're going to start just being biased now. Because it seems like, you know, it seems like it's hard for people to grasp because they get too much places to go check for references. They get lost. But you know, it is what it is. So we've been telling you for years, RV Bay Publications and Khalifa Media and all that. It's not. Been saying it. Do you come to your senses? No. I'm CALIFA, khalifamedia.com. Yeah, you can go there and get all the stuff, all the literature. Get some books. Because one is about supporting our own, have the finance go in our community a few times before it goes out. We're talking about Moors right now. We're not talking about the blacks doing that and all that. Forget them. Right? Nationalize and bring your finance over. You know, the black guys giving more stuff. That's that might as well the colonists be giving it up. Do Moors do Ramadan? Oh yeah. And put your questions in all caps so we don't get lost reading these chats. Do Moors do Ramadan? Yeah, some Moors do Ramadan. You know, it's ancient. Fasting is not new. That's coming because of Ramadan. Not because of Ramadan. Fasting been around. This is like we said, this is the people's birthrights. This is the birthrights. You're not Negro, black, colored. You're Moor. You know that. Then hey, live by the principles and do what you want. Just don't violate anybody's rights. And make sure if you're doing something, it's for your nation. You know. The other one is think this over, you Moors. Now think this over, you Moorish Americans. Now think this over, you Muslims. Now think this over, you Moabites. Think this over, you Moors. All sheiks, grand sheiks, must prepare for the Prophet before he comes to visit them, must see to it that all is clean and in perfection as far as comfort is possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. All members should pay from 25 cents to 50 cents weekly toward the emergency fund. This fund will increase so that it will soon amount to the grand sum of $1,000. That is if you are loyal Moors. The emergency fund goes to the bank. The treasurer will tend to the responsibility of seeing that the money is in the bank, yes, and under the name of Moor Science Temple of America Finance. When needed, act according to the law pertaining to the procedure for performing an emergency act. No head of any said temple is to borrow from any member more than $5 to $10 unless by notification of the prophet. The necessity for the loan. When any said temple desires to purchase property, they must first notify the grand body or the prophet, and it must be purchased under the name of the Moor Science Temple of America or Noble Jew Ali. An individual name should never be applied. I, Noble Jew Ali, am responsible for all finance, so therefore let I, the prophet, know what is on me. Some of you have slipped and slipped drastically, so you had better lace up your shoes before I get there. Everything, every business transaction, or anything pertaining to finance is to be transacted in the name of the Moor Science Temple of America, or Noble Jew Ali. We Moors must maintain the Grand Treasurer. Just as in the days of our forefathers, then you are a nation. Until then, you are nothing. The emergency fund is issued by no book, but by an emergency card punched according to contribution, then marked on the book. That is the law, and the law must live. The government is behind me, and I must get behind you, for I must uphold and enforce the law. My mission is to save you Moors. The heads of all temples, grand sheikhs, grand sheikhs, must conform to the divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They must live the life among the members and be loved even as the prophet is loved. They must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Let it be he or she that is the head of any temple of the Moor Science Temple of America, that if there should come any grievance that cannot be settled by the head, notify the prophet at once. No member is to attend the adept chamber that has not lived a moral and clean life, and has not paid his or her dues or assessments, providing that he or she is working or able, cannot consider himself a Moor. But traders must be excluded from the books after having a fair trial by the head of their temple, and that must be sent into the grand body. All members that are able to subscribe toward the uplifting fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation, and those that are able and fail to act are not Moors but traitors to their cause and trust and their nation, and are not allowed to share all the Moorish honors. And the penalty is, it is embezzlement of the faith of our creed. All heads of all temples must observe these laws by the prophet. And keep in mind, they're talking about Moor Americans and all that stuff. He's talking about Moors. He's not talking about some religious corporation. He's talking about a nation. He's talking about the nation. But traders must be excluded from the books after having fair trial by the head of their temple, and must be sent into the grand body. Is that notice? They're found guilty. So a temple has a trial. A Moor gets found guilty, and then they send the verdict to the grand body. Does that sound like religion to you? Or does that sound like government? And then if it's government, then how come 90% of the representations of Moor Science Temple of America is religious, dogmatic, Christian? How come it's not civic in its nature? How come Moors are going to say the United States of America Constitution is our Constitution, and then not even recognize their own divine Constitution and bylaws as the supreme law? Meaning they still want from the European, right? Because if the United States of America Constitution comes from the great law of peace from the Iroquois, then why aren't you following that? Why are you telling me about some European facsimile? Why are you telling me about what some Europeans got when the Europeans copied the great law of peace, but you're talking about the United States Constitution is your Constitution? Because Article 4, Section 4 is a republic. Huh? I thought you already said you're a nation. Is your nation the United States of America? Is your empire the United States of America? Your empire is not the United States of America? So why are Moors claiming the United States of America Republic Constitution as their constitution? No, because it comes from the Iroquois. What? Does that mean Moors supposed to be in a temple? Nobujwali told the Moors, let's just go. Let's just check. Prophet Drew Ali speaks to the nations. Prophet Drew Ali speaks to the nations. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become a part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race, because you will know who you are and who your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet, sent to redeem this nation, not this temple, this nation from mental slavery, which you have now. Every one of you who think that your condition can be better, this is a field open to strong and men and women to uplift the nation, not the temple, and take your place in the affairs of men. If the Europeans and other nations, not the temple, are helping me, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish National Divine Movement, not the temple. If you have a nation, not a temple, you must have a free national, not a temple, name in order to be recognized by this nation, not the temple, as an American citizen, not a temple member. This is what was meant when it said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you by the prophet. So, yes, Moors should be part of the temple. They should, but, it's hard for a lot of Moors to do that because, one, there's no temple where they're at. And two, if there is a temple where they're at, it was set up by the sellouts. So when the people go there, they're going to think it's a religious thing, and then they're going to disconnect from the Moor Science Temple, thinking that they should be doing that when, yes, logically, but the reality, it's the individual that's in the temple that's the problem, not the temple. So with our temple, we realize that there's so many territories where there's no temple because it was supposed to be already done that there's a temple there. Same thing like with us, that there was supposed to be a temple here. We were supposed to figure this stuff out on our own. There was already supposed to be a Moor Science Temple here. There wasn't. So we set up ours. And then we created the honorary temple membership so that people who are outside of our jurisdiction, who are studying the same people that we're studying from, who listen to the same music that we listen to, who build with the same Moors that we build with, who love truth, peace, freedom, and justice the same, fezzes the same, turbans the same, literature the same, we're all in accord. Fine, you can be a member of our temple. But it's just so that they can say what Noble Drew Ali said, be part of the temple, if you're really going to say that you're a Moor. If you really want to uplift your nation, then be part of the temple. So we gave honorary membership from our temple, which is something we think, all the temples should be doing. That anywhere you're at, you want to be a member, sure, send in your membership form. And start contributing to your nation, however that is. Because, our honorary membership for the people outside of Canaanland isn't for them to give finance to us to pay dues. Because we can't do anything for them anyways like that. So this is just membership, just so anybody could say, you're a Moor, what temple are you part of? Because I see you on the street with your fez on and you don't come to our temple. So, yeah, I'm part of Canaanland temple. Oh, those Moors aren't real Moors and all that. Well, so ask them, how come you're not part of their temple then? If we're the Moors that are the fake ones, but you're a part of our temple, and you're not a part of the temple in the own jurisdiction where you live at, because those people are traitors and they've been pushing dogma for 80 years, then what's that tell you? You still confused? You still don't realize that they played you out of your stuff? But you can't get mad. You're just going to find the ones who you could support that's doing good, because what else are you going to do? Complain about something? Or are you going to get active? What are you going to do? And again, Moors know that if you're in a jurisdiction and there's no temple and you know that you're a Moor, then obviously you don't need to be in a temple to be a Moor, or a temple can't make you a Moor because there's not even no temple where you're at. And then you have to ask the question, well, why isn't there a temple where I'm at? If Noble Drew Ali was there, 25 temples all over the country, and branch temples and subordinate temples, and then where I'm at there isn't any. What happened? How come they stopped putting up temples? And you realize the sellout. That it's your own. It's your own wearing turban and fezzes that's going to put you right back into slavery. It's your own that's going to do it. But don't get mad. Find some people who aren't traitors and work with them. Whatever they're doing. They might not even have a brick and mortar, but they might know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that they can go meet somewhere every week with no issues. then that's their temple. No, it doesn't have Moor Science Temple on the side of it or whatever like that. And when you walk in, it's going to be, black stuff on the wall or whatever. No, we're just using this spot for our meetings as Moors until we get ourselves together where we could have our own spot with our own sign on it. Until then, any spot we got is the temple. Somebody's basement, oh, that's the temple. The kitchen, yeah, that's the temple. Tuesdays, this is the temple. Move the table over there and put up the flags and let's have our temple meeting. If you're more like that, if you're with Noble Drew Ali like that, you realize all these people are sellouts, then you take the good that Noble Drew Ali brought and do something with it. And you better not in 5 years talking about 15 grand for a package because you're the Moors of the southeastern shore of the whatever. You got the fez with the feathers on it and all that stuff, and the polka dot tassel because this is how the Moors in ancient times did it and whatever. Talking about 3,000 for some paperwork. Those are not Moors, they're robbers. They're robbers. They're robbers. Yeah, and see how that Moor just said? Canaanland Moors member since, and he put a date on it. Because ain't nobody else repping what a temple's supposed to be. I checked them. So I'm riding with Canaanland Moors temple. That's my temple. Cujo's my grand sheep. Whoever doesn't like that, oh well. Too bad, so sad. How come I'm not a member of your temple? Right? Just like told these Moors, talking with the Moors today. And then these people talking crazy about RV Bay Publications. They're Moor Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Why are they talking crazy about RV Bay Publications when they were on the stage with Taj Tariq Bey 20 years ago? They're supposed to be Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Sundry, Free, Moorish, and all this. But it's interesting, it's interesting that these are the same people who got us for 700 notes so we could do some right to travel plates, join up with their temple and have their plates out here and whatever like that. And the stuff didn't work. Got us for 700 plus some more finance for stuff that we didn't get. Because they've been exercising right to travel ever since, and this is how we do it out here. 1,500. Well, we know Aleem and all that stuff, and Taj and stuff. Like, yeah, tell us 1,500. How are we gonna pay 1,500 when we know the same master teachers? Because we're thinking that it's a process. They have something working. We take that, implement it here. Start implementing and then going through the stages and realize that, hold on a second, these people haven't done anything. They just dangled a carrot. And then we were moving too fast because we had Moors who were ready to go. So we start implementing things, going to the Ministry of Transportation, filing this, filing that, and then we get to the spot where they're at, where they didn't get any further because people took their conveyances and stuff like that. Now we're there with them, looking at them. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean that there's nothing else to do? Right? That's when you go on Canaanland Moors, you watch the video, What I Learned Exercising Right to Travel. And we tell you all the BS that we went through dealing with right to travel out here. And there's Moors right to traveling right now with the tags and all that stuff. It's not like it's not happening. And there's Moors also, their stuff got kidnapped. They still got their conveyance still. Because this stuff isn't foolproof. But that doesn't mean because somebody got their conveyance taken that we're not Moors still. Or all that Moor stuff doesn't work, so we're not Moors because this Moor got kidnapped, so we're not Moors. Be careful. It's your own. It's going to enslave you. It's not going to be some foreigner. It's going to be your own. Right? Crazy. Yeah. When you realize that, damn, I don't know. I thought I knew something. You realize you don't know. And because you don't know, you gotta get knowing ASAP. You know, a switch goes off. And once that switch goes off, then you're right in line with what you're supposed to do. Like you're right in line with it. And we are a nation. We're not a republic. We are a body politic, but we're not a grand body. These people sold you out. And they did it well, too. It's not like they didn't do good. They did a good job to sell out. But it's on you now. It's all on you. And what are you willing to put into this so that you can pay your dues? Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all the Moors. Honors to all the mothers. Oh, yeah.
That's the non-pro-tonque documents, etc., which we'll bring to you in the future again, because it's not new. But what we need to do collectively, we're going to start talking quo warranto as a standard of protocols. This goes for everybody, not just conscious Moorish Americans. This is why you've been losing your rights and your liberties. You have not been challenging people who are actually criminals who've been claiming to be government, and they're de facto. We've been telling you they're de facto. But we know, unfortunately, that a lot of your so-called leaders, etc., won't teach you these things because they've been benefiting from it from the background, getting kickbacks. And then they hide behind religion. Oh, I love Jesus and Prophet Muhammad and stuff. And yeah. Well, once you start learning how government has really been operating, you yourself will start cleaning your house and putting your houses in order. But the major problem that I see with most of our people, they do not comprehend that most of the people that are around them that have been operating or running most of these organizations that they've been a part of are actually traitors. That's a fact. Mortar weeds them out. It does. Mortars are necessary to keep governments in check at all levels. This is why you remember when Consular General Lamont